Meghan Markle arrived at the Good Morning America studio that Thursday morning in a tailored ivory pantsuit. Her hair pulled back into a sleek, low bun, exuding polished confidence. The appearance had been promoted all week. A sit-down with Michael Strahan to discuss her new lifestyle brand, her ongoing humanitarian work, and a rumored return to Hollywood. Public curiosity was at a peak. Her every move had sparked global headlines ever since the royal exit, and the GMA segment was meant to be a carefully controlled moment, positive, empowering, on message. But tensions flared almost immediately. Not because of overt hostility, but because of tone. Michael opened with his usual charm, asking about her journey from the UK back to the American spotlight. Meghan smiled, delivered her rehearsed talking points about resilience and reinvention. The first few minutes were smooth. But when Michael pivoted and began touching on subjects, she clearly wasn't prepped for her relationship with her father. The podcast's abrupt cancellation, and recent reports about diva-like behavior on set, her expression shifted. A smile froze. The laughter dimmed. And though she didn't show it outright, the room began to sense a crack in the royal veneer. Michael, known for his calm but incisive interview style, pressed on, referencing the sudden end of her Spotify deal and quoting unnamed producers who felt creatively smothered. Meghan blinked slowly. "Interesting," she said coolly. "It's funny how stories without names seem to get louder than truth these days." Michael didn't back off. "So you're saying the reports of difficult working relationships are fabricated?" Meghan leaned forward. "I'm saying that when a woman asserts a vision, she's called difficult. When a man does it, he's decisive." The audience clapped lightly, but there was a tension beneath the surface now. Michael nodded, then gently brought up the strained ties with her father and half-sister, asking if reconciliation was something she hoped for. Her jaw tightened. "That's deeply personal," she said. "And I find it strange that my family pain is still considered public entertainment." Michael raised his eyebrows. Some would say he made it public." The temperature dropped. "A few degrees?" Meghan's tone sharpened. "No, I spoke my truth. There's a difference between being public and being forced to defend yourself after being hunted." It wasn't yelling, but it was ice. At that moment, producers in the control room shifted uncomfortably. This wasn't the tone they'd agreed upon in pre-interview meetings. Michael moved to steady the interview again, asking about her new product line focused on clean living and wellness. Meghan relaxed, smiled again. "It's not just a brand, it's a belief system," she said. "I want to empower people to live cleaner, kinder lives." But the reprieve didn't last. Michael, glancing at his cards, brought up recent criticism that her brand launch relied more on aesthetics than substance, comparing it to goop without the soul.
Meghan's face flushed.
"That's incredibly unfair," she said, her voice low but firm. "There's real science and ethics behind what we're doing." Michael pushed again. "Is it fair to say your lifestyle brand is only reaching people who can afford $95 candles?" A tense silence. Meghan looked directly into the camera, then back at Michael. "Is it fair to say that successful black women are held to standards no one else is?" The audience gave a louder reaction now, mixed between applause and surprise. Michael looked momentarily stunned not by her words, but by how pointedly she had reframed the criticism. Michael tried to recover, saying his question had nothing to do with race, but rather economic access. Meghan wasn't having it. A black man asking a black woman if her success is too elite. Think about that. The studio went silent. Even the teleprompters froze. Michael sighed, regrouped. "I respect what you've built," he said. "But the people watching at home want to know what's real and what's just branding." Meghan's tone was velvet-trapped steel. "The brand is real because I am real. Because what I've survived is real." Michael's voice hardened slightly. "But does surviving entitle someone to be beyond criticism?" That question struck deep. Meghan stared at him for a beat too long. "I think we're done here," she said flatly. She reached for her mic and calmly removed it. A staffer hurried toward the stage, mouthing, "Please wait," but she was already rising from her chair. "Thank you, GMA," she said dryly. "Next time, maybe ask questions instead of accusations." With that, she turned and exited the frame. The camera awkwardly cut to commercial. Asterisk backstage, panic erupted. Meghan's team was furious. Her publicist demanded the segment be pulled entirely. ABC executives were blindsided. This was supposed to be a friendly platform. Michael, now alone at the desk, composed himself and returned from the break with a rehearsed calm. "We'll be right back with the latest on the heat wave hitting the East Coast," he said, voice even. But the firestorm was already in motion. Within minutes, phone-shot footage of Meghan walking briskly past security was leaked. The clip, showing her eyes flashing with emotion and her jaw set tight, spread across Twitter and TikTok like wildfire. The hashtags exploded. Hashtag Meghan storms off. Hashtag GMA clash. And most notably, hashtag Strahan vs Markle. Commentators jumped in immediately. Piers Morgan couldn't resist, calling it typical Markle victimhood. Others applauded her composure, saying she had every right to shut down disrespectful lines of questioning. Still others debated whether Michael had crossed a line or merely done his job as a journalist. Asterisk by the afternoon. Major outlets had picked it up. CNN, Fox, BBC, everyone wanted to dissect the moment. Who was right? Who went too far? Meghan's camp released a short, carefully worded statement. The Duchess was invited to speak on positivity and empowerment. She chose not to engage with manufactured controversy. ABC issued a vague clarification, saying the interview did not go as planned but was aired in full to respect journalistic transparency. Michael remained silent, but off the record, producers said he was deeply disappointed in how it unfolded. He wasn't trying to ambush her, one insider said. He thought they were having a real conversation. Meanwhile, Meghan's fans and critics split along predictable lines. Some praised her for standing up for herself once again. Others accused her of weaponizing identity to deflect any form of critique. Either way, the clash had transcended the show, had become a cultural moment. Asterisk, the fallout didn't stop there. Meghan's brand website received record traffic, but half of it was hate clicks. Her team had to disable comments temporarily. Meanwhile, an op-ed in The Atlantic titled "When Royals Face Real Questions" went viral. It argued that Meghan's celebrity had outgrown her message. Empowerment, it said, requires accountability. On the flip side, Teen Vogue published a glowing defense, claiming the exchange showed how even media allies can subtly undermine powerful women of color. The discourse was ferocious. Beneath all of it, one question lingered. Had Meghan Markle finally hit the wall of her own narrative? Or had she simply refused to perform anymore for a system that wanted contrition and spectacle from a woman who offered neither? Asterisk days later, Meghan appeared in a carefully edited Instagram reel from a women's empowerment event in Los Angeles. She didn't mention the GMA interview directly, but said, "Sometimes grace means walking away from what doesn't serve you even when the world is watching." The message was clear, but Michael Strahan broke his silence in a different way. On The View, he made a surprise appearance, sitting beside Whoopi Goldberg and saying, "There's no anger. I just ask questions. It's my job. But I respect anyone who walks their path with conviction, even when we disagree." The moment earned praise for maturity, though it didn't heal the fracture. The divide was now part of their legacies. A prince's wife turned media mogul and an ex-NFL star turned journalist. Both navigating the tightrope of truth and image under unrelenting public eyes. Asterisk in the weeks that followed, Meghan laid low. Her brand launched a new partnership with a wellness retreat company, and she kept interviews off the schedule. GMA ratings spiked temporarily from the controversy, but future celebrity bookings became more cautious. Behind closed doors, Meghan's team began vetting interview formats more aggressively, pre-approvals, topic restrictions, even guest edits. Meanwhile, ABC debated internally whether to revisit editorial standards for live interviews. Some executives felt they had won a major media moment. Others saw it as a cautionary tale. Don't promise safe harbor and deliver storms. Still, Meghan remained silent. No second thoughts. No apology. No acknowledgement beyond her curated posts. Asterisk, and so the moment entered media folklore. The Meghan clash, they called it. Not quite a meltdown, not quite a media coup, but something in between. A symbol of a culture hungry for authenticity and allergic to critique. Meghan Markle walked out of Good Morning America not as a fallen star, but as a lightning rod once more. And Michael Strahan.com, amid the storm, became both hero and villain depending on who you asked. In the end, it wasn't about who won the exchange. It was about what it revealed. The thin, fragile boundary between message and identity, fame and scrutiny, performance and principle, and how, no matter how carefully you script, the moment the truth has a way of cutting through the light, especially when it's live.